voice of Pan-African media.
As night fades out, faded by the sun, 10,000 men stand high on the hill, and our silence as the air stood still. 10,000 men trample for the kill. The vultures fly, the wind is high, the warrior fights, the battle of power, the scavengers wait, each man there's hate, death is late, the battle of power. Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 Ladies searching, sitting on their own. Each one thinking, who is coming home? As spears clashing, streaming through the air. Each one shivers, in their hearts is fear. The vultures fly, the wind is high. The warrior fights, the battle of power. The scavengers wait, each man does hate. Death is late, the battle of power. Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 As night fades out, faded by the sun, 10,000 men stand high on the hill, and our silence as the air stood still. 10,000 men trample for the kill. The vultures fly, the wind is high, the warrior fights, the battle of power. The scavengers wait, each man does hate. Death is late, the battle of power. Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 Ladies searching, sitting on their own. Each one thinking, who is coming home? are faded by the sun. 10,000 men stand high on the hill, and our silence as the earth is still. 10,000 men trample for the kill. The vultures fly, the wind is high, the warrior fights, the battle of bomb, the scavengers wait, each man does hate, death is late, the battle of bomb. Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 Searching, sitting on their own. Each one thinking to the air. Each one shivers in their heart is fear. The vultures fly, the wind is high, the warrior fights, the battle of power, the scavengers wait, each man does hate, death is late, the battle of power. Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 Hosa, hosa.
Yo etiefo ye bema obi biara good afternoon at the Voice of Pan-African Media so said ye na watch bi ye no memende bia ye tenase na ye hwe agudie mu nsem de ye course boxing mbrika bibi biara ye agudie mu bia no ye de ho nsem ebre etiefo na watch mu no megidi pa so obi biara ho ye nyame aboye ho ban ye da so tenkwam ne de ye nim se obia ho ye enti no edwumadie na enti na ene memenda ye wa ha no ma ye de dwumadie a eti se ebre mu no ene ye 1st of August bosomi etoso edikan no bosomi a ye friend August no ne da edikan eye ne memende enti no ye bompa ye se nyankopon wadi atwa idie osan edi ebewi enti meda obi biara ase na machia ye tiefo nyina VOPAM etiefo se abre nyina no mo semre munya adaje na modi tie se ye betena edwam se ya enti no ene no ye nche hu bebre ye de nkomotwetwe no ene agudie no be hya ase na ye ka no ye ka kire mo se se uni online hyase ne bra sesi ase so wo so a share na unua a on so enya huye no on so entie program no ne like ye o YouTube okọ no ma instead of Voice of Pan-African Media no se untimi waste time bebre no so be VOPAM TV then bibia be ya ma na afi wa like no subscribe ne yakọ yanim ye Facebook Instagram ene YouTube nyina ba bia ye ho no ye sent no age ba bibia yem se enye program ba akopɛ ene ye programs bebre eduru fiada de kopem kwasiada de agroni adwuma mu hanom kra enti se de kana bribia mu no se ofi so qualities bi so na pese VOPAM ye mmoa na wo so eyi na dia akwanya ne da ho ubetimi ahwehwe empanifo ekira kwan na yeso emmoa bi wo ho na se kwan bi da ba bia ye behwe ba bi na ye de wahye enti ye nche hu bebri no yem se ye onkrato kakra a ye beje enti ye gye nkrato ne ba den ye de amano ne nsem no ebehye so sifiro na yaba efie so de no na afi ye de agudie no ahyehye ase ano no tietiefo ye twa ho kakra bi ne agye nkrato ye ba ye de ohu bia no ebesa aka mo ho
mama kwaba samre ye gina Vaden Strasse 38 Hanover Nana Afro shop enimu na ye gina mama yenko inside ne yenko hye nyama Nana Afro ewo se Nana Afro shop inside na ye weyo ye wantuma odo bebre ye wo kente ye wo meba wa abrochire eba no lace so a eya na nkofo bebre nim se ye ba no abrochire ha ye ni lace papa ba oba Nana Afro shopper ye wo lace bebre ye wo sheda colors ahodo de wo pe bia different kinds ye wo sweet sheda ye wo German sheda ene ye wo normal sheda ne wo pesa wo de pam bia se wo ye oba se wo ye bema de wo pesa wo de sheda no eye bia eno so obetumi e de aye ko ba no enwi so a me wo riga ya yedida ye wo Brazilian hair ye wo human hair papa ye wo Peruvian hair de obenu awaduane wom de opese odi nyama gum ni nyina wo Nana Afro shopper ni nyina obenya bi ato Nana Afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi medawas
yo etiefo yam se yewura mu genkrato afei na yasan etwa ye ho aba itina ye ka kire se obi biara wutie dwumadi bu modern se obehye no like page no so no ye share agudi na sia no ubetumi enya na dwumadi so so enya me nko na medi menimnua Zubila Nuri ena edi dwumadi no ena ye producer DJ Willie ono ane san ye director ono ye bibia ma ye intino sa enete ewa adwuma mu ha no intino Saviola na ho te se okay na otwa kwa problem to yende hu se ahoden no ho na otwi susu no se bibia ye kudie
bibia kula eno edi baraka sala
okay se wa mama na mu wa man te hwe me hu no hwe
corona na intiminche na mi obia ogia na wa coronavirus
mate yam se na otwi etwa mu no o se bibia si ye kwasiada so nti me fan se Monday no so ye kwa adwuma ye ntimi anya emre a me kirekire eniyema mu wa hanom intino English Premiership no mabo awie intino ene na yese yeso kakra na yeso ye hwefa ho na se ye di anidi ho adanse ye no yeso ye bekama etiefo ne omo susu entumi entie bi no omo susu etidi kosiye intino famiwuram kakra ye Premiership nim na se wo so fa so wo transfer kakra wo Germany di enima den ubetimi so amyako ekwan ne da ho ma tino ifaye
o hwe English Premier League
am ba cha ma wanu mewe no na mi a o kasa ni ma na etiefo ni tio
o hwe English Premier League kwa wie no teams bebe sunye pa o hwe Watford ne West Ham last minute na West Ham team survive and Watford team call against na idea super na Watford here win same way they maintain in the Premier League for 2019 to 2020 and they to lose here against Arsenal 5-3 so na idea here ama omusu sa
na obebe je say omusu na ye record breakers omu ne e break Liverpool wa bla no bi anhye omu no 3-0
again no. So like I was thinking that they will survive in the Premier League, but luckily, unfortunately, they were not able to make it. But all the same, that is Premier League for you because the only expected team always go to relegation. So So now we go about the English Premier League. We share team qualify for Champions League. Liverpool, they are Champions League next year. Man City, Manchester United, and then Chelsea. Because Manchester United surprised everybody by getting third position in the league. Because if you're looking at the middle of the league, Manchester was on 10th of the league table, and then they surprised the fans by getting the third place in the Champions League. It is amazing for Manchester team, and then the fans, and then the coaching staff. And at Chelsea, so I then almost about fourth. That means next year they'll play Champions League qualification. But sad news is that Leicester City are now doing somewhere then. Do make it this year in the Champions League now. No more that second, and no more about third. Because we say, before the league will finish, Leicester will be fourth or third. But luckily, unfortunately, Leicester there, FIFA as next year, my automatically qualified to what to the Europa League. And Tottenham so about fourth. They have to play off. Yeah, I'm about that 6, and Wolverhampton about that 7th. So sure. Arsenal 14 omutimi win FA Cup today against Chelsea. Then they automatically qualify next year for Europa League. So yes, the next year Arsenal will not play in Europe. So Osha teams are most against now. Very sad. Osha FN is saying Watford and anyway Osha Watford Norwich Obian himself more or Marco against because points are more than 21 points and Watford or more 34 points and Bournemouth more almost 34 points and Aston Villa and we win them last match. I will show the miracle of Antonio, the British guy who scored 8 goals in 3 matches. Very scratched. Very he's
Manchester United.
He's an amazing player. Also the Leicester and the Leicester our offense Aston Villa. Every match, if Antonio and ball, that means Aston Villa they will lose or they will draw. But Antonio Boa, also the performance of Antonio in the team is very, very massive. So now your player be ultimately winning player of the month this month in England, and as your best player our Aston Villa this team this year. So also Antonio or one of the player Obianim said they are about the team. So West Ham, so they were able to win last 5 matches. And then they maintain the Premier League status, so that means next year West Ham will play Premier League again. So Osha FN is saying teams are sad more man to man qualify for Champions League this year now, like Arsenal, Tottenham, and then Wolverhampton, because Wolverhampton are behind himself ball and this year, no, they deserve to play Champions League next year or even Europa League because performance now more ball against Liverpool. No, we should top 4 teams now. Almost sure more, so they are the best team in English Premier League this year comparing to the like of Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and then Manchester United. So Usaba friend is saying transfer news now. Our friend say transfer news now. Our England, our Germany, we players be brave. My master team, and now we Ghana play by our friend Benatekwete was signing my team with our Bulgaria, and next year they obviously account with Champions League, and now. Friend is saying dressing player by a friend Ballas on who's a signing my second league team friend Aswe, and now we share a friend is saying a goalkeeper by our Leipzig or offer Leipzig and now offer Spain ever Las Palmas, so no about James second place. No, let's say we keep back no offer France, no offer Sweden, no so there. On the super baby so transfer this now this time no teams be no or any players no be actually teams this year and also buy a friend say Hanover play back one friend no second player back over Hanover friend no Sirik Toysna on this way there was Sanama Union Berlin our Bundesliga and also a friend say Nigeria player back one friend Victor Osima and our Bob Wolfsburg now. Or signing Napoli, 81 million euros, the record signing player in Napoli. And now Obian himself, then Italy for the mutant to African player high players, but also Osimhen performance are all the this year our lane no very amazing. About 32 games and also 18 goals. No say performance no one was so and also Osimhen send out their rising career no is very amazing because time now what Wolfsburg no when you been born now prepare and I also said no on your end I saw to me called one of the low leagues to build his confidence back so either or call Belgium and or call team back team no call boy no or to me say bet 7 goals and also change call team back every the sister team no or call no say idea and a little for ton a friend same Pepe ma Aston so okay it's a good replacement for Pepe and I'm turn about Lille over Lille so or then one disappointed be or you be proud anyway and also your good season or Lille no so ne we play be a night teams England teams pen Liverpool pen and I friend say Manchester 4 pen and I friend say Jamie Wolfsburg was happen back when there na idea there on by Wolfsburg because I did all experience of Wolfsburg now it wasn't right for him so I'm pissed about Wolfsburg bio and then Napoli there Napoli negotiations now to me turn it take almost at least 3 months before they get Osimhen because he was a hot cake in the European market anyway the record African signing in Europe 81 million, so a brick record. And also here Napoli record signing. So Osimhen Obia SRE, we are looking forward to see. I'm not sure could the player back one no about Slavia Prague. A friend Peter Ola Yika and also on Stuttgart 4 dim come and AC Milan dim come. So I think nobody say if find about call if what a bonus you got Italian Liga. So on here the system Peter also take it within 2 days because there transfer winner no on team Kobe Bia because that mean I'm winner person then almost signing. And also share a Ghana player back who friend Kasim Adam no or Colono our friend say our Düsseldorf Luluna sign us and return back to Offenham because of person more playing time to get his chances in the Black Star in the future. And now Osaba Ghana player back you one was say a friend Kofi Chire no ball Wiesbaden and there was signing my friend says St. Pauli our Germany Bundesliga and also one of the player we have to watch him in the future Black Star. Also transfer no it won't be brave meeting for you number no so maybe see us say ne dey home here next week no matter make to also transfer news no because also Ghana players no be brave no one for we master teams and I been so hard on person there almost sign new contract so say information now next week me bring say information about Ghanaian players that are most of the team and most of the top stars now Omo there omo change teams na baby amount for baby omo there omo end omo career and na ohwe sad news say Germany World Cup winner whoever is were ending the career at the age of what 32 and I friend say Andre Sole and obia nim say so to me then otimi bono ball ko wie no what end the career so prematurely because of first and loan na san our Moscow no return back to Dortmund no am cancel the contract or say no it doesn't make fun anymore to play football and I said he ended his career at the age of 29. So any idea a year man for you say why I say with my at my boy after 35 and not even 33 years but what end of career. So yana or feel woman or say no I have to end my career. I did woman so maybe see us so next week maybe there me traffic this new there better some na
yo at for say Saviola no ordine de na kugu odimu remu England kakrana odimu bewie so Germany Bundesliga ni na Bundes swai no na they also say Italian Serie A no so say aka last game omususu di begu ene ne china na cheso mo wie bibia na guso na ekokoso na otimi say last week no ana me fan this week no na emu ye hye papa midweek no uhwema em say Parma ne Atlanta Shiama Atlanta twanu mienu ema otimu baako na agro no mo hyepa AC Milan Inter Milan so ewini mienu ema Napoli ansimada braka na match no so tough match but trust me Antonio Conte sa Catalancio system no otimi edi ewini match no ema ewie no ahye Napoli mienu Napoli antimi an Verona twa Spa so de wayesi benti obi abu ni binti sabre no de na kwan so a okọ relegation also share ne miensa wansi mada braka Udine so share ba ko ma Lecce share mienu Lazio share mienu ma Brescia so entumi antika ni mu bi Sampdoria share ba ko ma AC Milan we ha Milan chini twa kanan timu ba ko so far so good AC Milan if you see a COVID iba performance no extraordinary achese omudi agro Sassuolo team of the week also so chi Genoa twa kanum Genoa ansi mada braka na chese omudi ani modern pa Fiorentina so share 9 Bologna antimi antibi Cagliari 2 the shocking results Cagliari 2 Juventus nil Cagliari 2 Juventus nil na chese uhwema na anka ene kanena na yenya TV ne internet nhwe anka ebeka se match no kra no wo ha am so mu de omu junior side ne kobo so shocking results obi aginem kukudamfo ni nyina aginem omu chi omu twa omu eka mienu omu antim sim adabraka Torino eso hye mienu ma Roma so eshe miensa na chese agro ni ko wiye no de ekosi ye no enti ye hwe na otwe mu so a yem se eno so no league fixtures no omu so mu di wiye kura no eno so ne Spa eso ne Fiorentina de bebo ani Genoa versus Verona Bologna and Torino Lecce Parma Sassuolo and Udinese, AC Milan versus Cagliari, Napoli versus Lazio, Atalanta versus Inter Milan, Roma versus Juventus, Sampdoria versus Brescia. Now shema match the match pa Atalanta and Inter Milan match of the week. So far Italian teams no ka se me pick me best team America Atalanta. So far so good. Ball mu bona fi no ano odin pa no na ase ehunehuna PSG fo no Mbappe so de afa ho pra no etina ye economy ehwe ni se omu so atwede no de dani Juventus na huradi kan o 83 points Inter Milan ahye wo ba beda second into no so 79 points Atalanta eda so miensa omu so kuta 78 points Sana Lazio so 78 points almost da 9 and Roma so 67 points on so at the 5th AC Milan 6 so far so good why are there on so 63 points 7th Napoli 59 8th Sassuolo 51 Verona 49 on so at the number 9 position on so the Fiorentina so 46 points out of that 10th position 11th position Parma 46 Bologna so 46 also that 12 13th position Cagliari also 45 points Udinese 42 also that 14 Sampdoria 15 41 Torino 39 also added that 16 also added that 16 Sana Genoa eso 36 ono so 17 points. Lecce so 35 ono so 18 points. Brescia eso 24 oda 19 points. Spadi omuna so keta no kura 20 points ena omu so ede ari. Enti etiefo Italy so no yebo rema na de kosi ewo eho no enti no ye nche ho bebre ye ntwetwe ho kura no yem se yebewura transference nsem kakra transfer sem no na se uhwem me fa no Ghana ni abranti ye frɛ no Thomas Tekwete no yam say waye smart move also a move di nani free Fortuna Düsseldorf de nani a kire Bulgaria team bia from Ludogorets Rizgrad almost bebo Champions League ni bi omu na champions honum into hwe Tekwete move na just a very smart move sana yeko Leicester City so England Kama so ono so no Leicester City omu de ne malon nyame adom kone na me na Leicester fo no asa so afren back beam enti Kama so esa de nani a kire Leicester City enti no sa ena ye kono internet ye fo yam se transfer munsem na ena yeguso ye de bremo no sa na Inter Alliance defender friend no Frank Asinki also join Danish club be friend HBK Kogi enti sa na Ghana for boys no se so no me fa ne se omu bom homoden enti no ena Coutinho so de nani kire Arsenal se nyame ya adom na bibia totoma wode nani be kire Arsenal eho ena obekọ akosi na kan na afidi Coutinho ono so wanya ni tri ade adidim na ye hwe so so ye Joseph Atama lawe anasa Joseph Atama sa na e be frɛ no ono so nani age say after 36 years team anu obo division 1 omu call relegation 36 good years ono so atimi aboa ama team no atimi again promotion aba Turkish top flight league nim team no ye frɛ no Karagumerek no so ndidi no na woto kaya sablo mu so enya promotion omu next year nyame ya adoma omu besi akan ni bi e ama we wodi say Turkish Super League no enti sana eno so etie ewo honom enti ye hwede ye koso biom so na abrante ye friend Jordan Ayew na sabri nkrofo bo na baso yie pa na baso body no deserve waya ade sana menka no waya ade wati aka wa train na mu pa ebla na ni da so asa no yem se ofa akwan bi so hye ni team no Crystal Palace en monyam ene se wanya awards be bri na awards nim no eno ono ankasa ni chochomucho ne papa Bako Sola Ayew ono so ye former footballer ono so edi to just say akura ni si bobo no enye no won by 2-3 years time no obetimi abehye mpabo ebeti say the lies of George Oponria nanka me hwese bi odene besisi su droba ne etomu but o ma so straight no odene kosusu the king of goals King George Oponria na make us we dey yin e bom pai senke be sa na so bi ane sunsun ne pena honam no mu ayemre enti Jordan aya de say ono so etumi enya sa awards ne nyina enti no ye da ase ye da nyame ase say waboa no na Jordan so akonanim enti sa na eno so etie ho no enti ye ncha ho no yede mubewura we GF yede mbeko fie so na ye kofie na na sama mefa munwie boxing na Roy Jones see Roy Jones a very skillful boxer, very skillful boxer, intelligent boxer. On so Mark Tyson at age 53 omu de beboani enchekura September ye omu de beboani a den ya Mark Tyson na enkrofo bi tu no ane man kura no ankomu mpese obewura boxing ni bi but agro no yem se won nsa no ntin we mini se obedi agro no ntu maka wo so no de ompene agro na no be bedi na Roy Jones no so he na on so jai boxing ni enche sa yem se I think 205 ana se we ya no jai boxing no Mark Tyson na uja ya chintino omu boxing no yam se ano odin be butu ye hwe di odin ne yonkom etiko ebeka form na se Tyson de be wini a meta na chi se Roy Jones ne be wini a eno so meta wachi na no metimo se remu no yam se me kai mu we ene Arsenal ene Chelsea sa match ni wie be pensim Arsenal ne Chelsea no ye FA Cup na ye ba FA Cup pa dia Arsenal de England obia ni hono ma obetim de ho compare no yam so ni team o England FA Cup de waje do pa yam so de oben kakra no Manchester United internet no ne Chelsea de ko boani no a mu se sa match no mutimi hye obetim ewura mo Europa League no minim say ne ebe butu na de me you know me say me hunu de me fam support man ye na Frank Lampard me man and at the same time coach we so Mikel Arteta on so we youngest coach afre no so bentiama me hunu o mbi no de me fam support man to so far so good de obe wini bia no yem say ye be ko edi amano na ye ko biom so a yem say ye ankasa 1990 Cameroon squad omu de ba World Cup omu de ko duru semi-finals no yem say omu captain Steven Tatao we free enrefia de ya intiatiefo ene agudifo a mo wa chichire benche news aba na sad news intino ya na makai Steven Tatao Empire boom inti sanity na ye kofia sa na fie nsensem na GF fo sign contract bi na yes team you know contract no sign from Macron na Macron na amafo ye nhwehwemu na chese ensem crofo team omuni Macron company bia mu sponsor deal sa boss no Ghana enti na ye dai na sa na ma we mu nyina kikiri na yuru mu na chese yem say GF phone person mu chese the other story ko to site ono ene ye mistake amanfo se no mo bo anka mu di adwurim nyame ena amaya chemo enti say nyame ena amaya che wo mo dia ene ye de tie ba bi nti de abekan no transference ensem na yem say abrantia ye friend your friend Ademola Kutin yam say house of folk a player no or sign no fit so sign COVID-19 more ball na branch no na also dey ensem bi tudwa say oh achira wote house di na nim say a great team of course a great team but oba no craving gym kra no mu ni bi enti no na say branch no ensem bi o keka na make us obi a wo bebo team a wunya register wunya mo match ena baby a bomba wa start to no ba oto a odito yemfanye o saa so na akobiem a eno so ye ankasa ye yi o de say kotoko eno so Georgia Bege so na watutu bia ma ne kotoko fo papa wa akwara toto bombo ne de wato pa wato Uganda striker Georgia Bege wa say kotoko enjai say omaye omu sleeping giants na de bi omu di omu record bi omaye ni mlebi na ebo omu ba no na omu nsole omu wake up every omu nanim so hono na omu nya full investment omu moni nko academy no omu nya team no na omu nya yaji we ye team ni ye say so tifie ne so ye village champion nko ba bia odi sikrom na ba champion eni hu so ye champion enti abrantia no so kan sem bebre a otimi say okeka bi kire mpanifo ni ye oka odi kan saa na Ochaya David Ochaya every Uganda ebebo okotoko na hu se boy na agro no odi no obo no homodin tino hia support kakra bi enipa bi ebetu ne fo be encourage no but we nya sa chance no media fo ndo ma no sino no wasa okọ TP Mozambique say media fo kro ya say twa omo oh Ochaya no a nice player kotoko na ehunu ne yusu ehunu ndien media fo kro no mbu ma bem ene omu sa ka say Ochaya SI player sa na Georgia Bege so ba nanka omu wa time say eso munya abotrema guy no maybe minim say nka bia obe improve but omu ye intentem omu jabo ne kwan so ati asinti kwa ya ko say kotoko pe Uganda player maybe next time ne bed ndi be ni say omu o key players mienu a omu ba no bibia entumi ankoso yi anfa ma omu ewo we kotoko nti na ka chese kotoko ya hold bad record ewo we Uganda no na yenwrem kra de betwa to kra no yem say ye pay ni Mr. Osekwaku Palmer mfre Palmer yem say odi GF no court of arbitration international court of arbitration cast to odom kwa ni hwehwemu na no na yama ne say okay asem no odi bimti saade a o meka 3-man committee bi o man na Palmer se no ono onye because he kwan o mudene fa so na utim se asisie pa no musisi no enti no ye twen se Palmer so beba na bia nsem bi o hono ma on so abebro so ama etiefo no de yante no yeso yate na afi yakoye nim ti sa na yem se Mr. Palmer so ebeba abontina wa bekasa na yeso ya hwede ebekwa akosi enti etiefo ene yem se yakwane na mu a ye bofa mu no ensem a ye baaye no na ye de abremu no enti no ye hwe ye guso ye mpon dwumadie ne guso a ye koye nim ti no yanche ho no yem se ye betwa ye ho yem se sima baako achi ne ye ba ye be start ahwehwem match e be ba so Arsenal any transfer ne sem kakra bi then ye free mu a ye be ba rem ofie fi se ne no ya ne pese attention ni na ekofie enti no ye je enkrato kakra bi na ye ba ye de akara e be ba abeto amuso
spades are faded by the sun. 10,000 men stand high on the hill, and our silence as the air stood still. 10,000 men trample for the kill. The vultures fly, the wind is high, the warrior fights, the battle of power. The scavengers wait, each man there's hate. Death is late, the battle of power. Hosa, hosa, ho. 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 Hosa, hosa, ho.
Yo atiefo yi twa ho kakra bi asaba nti no yam se ye behwe ensem a ekoso Sabiola yam se boxing wani je ho kakra kan before
boxing the Jones square me because madam for be nana for pa because of Hamburg no mo share
okay
em picture na sa when occasion man ko awo wo Hamburg arena the Benz Hamburg city ho no
okay yam se we one of the
Jones
toughest and intelligent skillful boxers me yam se me share boxing no me hu Julio Cesar Chavez ena me se hu Prince Nazim Ahmed ena Roy Jones kan hu me say ka say skillful gina ring ni ne se ha oyebo onye easy kra we tough pa na we ja boxing no said the Mark Tyson so yeso yin anim so agya no na we na yem so mu tratra asena no mu se no edrum na yeso mu san ba be entertaining crofo no on say say so ati ase enti no wo person ba no be entertaining crofo na we na crofo ka se nke yeso mu gya because yem say me am DJ kura da o kan o say DJ Willie o say Sam Mark Tyson on trust no a very wicked man we very wicked wa yo babo obi le obi si afa na ni bre so akobo obi no e no ono ane makra se nka on tena se kakra no se no edu time e se omumu afi no esu hunu how I will be see around to kwanim entokwa no mbeko no I think on the 12th September na bi sentino yem se ubetimi ama ho adwen kire kakra
oh make sure box no like it's like exhibition fight and it will not be like how it should have been like say we are young and we get aggressive it's going to be a determined game and then the best fighter will win the day. So and you cannot guarantee that Mark Tyson will win or Roy Jones will win because they are all what because Roy Jones is almost 54 years or 53 years
and then Mark Tyson was 53
and then Roy Jones
48 or
48 yeah. So looking at that you cannot you can't just say okay so that Mark Jackson will win or Roy Jones will win, but I think both sides have a chance or it could be draw, but all the same it is good because they also try to what motivate the other boxers, those who like Jackson and then they never see him fighting because some of them they grew up and then they see Mike Tyson as their role model but never see him fighting. So I think it would be good for the young generation to see Mike Jackson once again and then Roy Jones too is one of the boxers people like to what people like to also watch him.
Okay, sorry I can't say Mike Tyson a legendary fighter. See one of the scariest boxer no more we are here in any form ono obeko no e ba se yankeka yenwo sekan ono obeko so no na akomko ebia na ebi mu anya agotena enya amre kakra hwe no de na chese one of the deadliest boxer na chese no too dangerous nti me said me hu Roy Jones no Roy Jones no so ye very skillful boxer no ya say boxing entoka na ya ko say Wilder ene Tyson Fury de ni bi but no difference ka create woman here as a Tyson no experience here more eche Wilder intena Jones no so chese ne nine the wo be sia gina grounds na pele na paddle ne nine ne ade ade no why chese why skillful boxer ankasa and nan tokwa so ofe unso wa bu totally anye say wicked we just we discipline wa ankasa and yes ye ni Mark Tyson so how we see konin tokwa oba so te lion no obechew enti no ye hwe me de omie no ne de so far so good de metimi aka ne say se Roy Jones ebetumi abo Tyson na ebi a Tyson fie no ena se Tyson so betumi abo Roy Jones so a na che se sa ni huhu na first na nkrofo disuru no ena ebi be man dia wini nti no se ntokwa no pa omunya nkonwie no I mean nya sure se betumi a predict se we be Tyson be wini ana se Jones aso be wini nti sa ena mesoso me hono nti yanko anim yam se yakọ anim ayi be wura football sensem nim yam se Arsenal and Chelsea and only the most important match say you can ho asem so Arsenal and Chelsea and omude bebuani e o FA Cup na say ohwa so a yam say the last year Arsenal boy no we lose ansa no be league kra no yam say we lose 2 matches I think so Man City so no Man City no form na
Liverpool and then Man City
form na no wona na enim senka o de beba be wura no o de sa form no ebe lusu enti enne no on Chelsea o be lusu to Aston Villa so ati ase team ananko bi enim say wa yem bia relegation ya de no o be enti wono wa nya hwe enti wonyi ni say ono so adwene ba ne say otumi ehye Chelsea ono so enya trophy ena we so adwene say so yema ehye match na ono so no ewura mo Europa League enti compare omienu na but experience na omienu no mo was FA Cup and Arsenal of more experience than Chelsea and almost over boss so a say preparation no say Chelsea wo landing a wo hwe o records na say be bia because of Arsenal because team ni me na London so ati ase but o kwa London na ene na abo bia be ka wo na as a Chelsea for na start dominating yes anka Arsenal for ndi nanka o mu nete so enti ye ko match ni no fi say na match no ebetumi akoye
me hwe match na Arsenal ye team a mere omo record in terms of FA Cup. They win it 13 times.
Yeah.
And then the Premier League 8 times. Osha, that means FA Cup no. Every 2-3 years they are playing finals. Priority. And then I think Arsenal no. Nobody expected Arsenal to win against Liverpool or to win against Man City in the semi-finals and then go to the finals playing against Chelsea. So playing against Chelsea, I think it's going to be a tough game. As we know, the Premier League is not all that easy. But looking at Lampard have a very solid team, and then how do you call it? Mikel Arteta also trying to build up a youth team that will compete for the league title next year. So sure, it's not going to be easy comparing the FA Cup finals in the previous years because Arsenal they are underdogs and they want to play Europe next year to boost their chance of getting good pace next year in the Premier League. So I think end of the day the best team will win, but anyway I tip Arsenal for glory to also give Mikel Arteta opportunity to be one of the best coaches in England, or it will also motivate the youth coaches that they can also be good like Mikel Arteta, like as Lampard is also doing. You know, Lampard and Mikel Arteta, they were the same playmate back up, let's say 2008-9. They were all still playing the Premier League, and I think it's something good to see that two teammates in various teams now coaches in their old teams, and then it's something good to watch to see Mikel Arteta on Arsenal bench and then Lampard on Chelsea bench, and then trying to pursue the guys to win the trophy for the various teams. I think it's the game to watch.
So share performance na, and I say player to player na o compare. I say me who say yam say Chelsea share ni extraordinary players behind chair Arsenal for no, but I won't say Mikel Arteta no or before Arsenal in the middle of the league. So far no buy my mean breakaway crama say Aubameyang so person kokobo Chelsea. In the scout and the agents no e committee Chelsea for but demands no Chelsea and to me and I wasn't week yamo or san abebo against you ti I am say obe prove bibi say senko omu tin ase an go betumi ayi bibi and I hwe say teams in me no so compare show mani mu ho no Chelsea Arsenal ewo Aubameyang, Alexander Lacazette and Nicolas Pepe. So almost how much three attack in the Debiano and Umudeko and Chelsea so Olivier Giroud na back with Pulisic. So at yes na Messi Mount so account. Now, Osha, what's that? So, Messi Mount, ne, what do you say? Ubetim do Olivier Giroud, I compare Aubameyang, level, no. I think, say, Ebia almost the same, and I say, Ebia, Aubameyang, best slide ahead. Me opinion, no. And Alpha, Nicolas Pepe, yam say, Massiment, Mount, no, any good in China, sir. Just obey premiership no na say starter no akofom kakra offer policies so when you two all that good in chair we Lacazette
let me come back to this point.
We go into no so hwe ball na no asa compare say oko Arsenal chiro no ma Arsenal David Luiz and on the me fans we your pillar and oko ha so omuso so Antonio Rudiger omu nyina so say former teammate and then the ko bono ntino Olivier Giroud e ko bo against the former teammate and then the former teammate so e bo against the attack no and the game no na me pese hu so obetimi akeka bom no ahwese e bia game no be kwa ma we na say e be kwa tia we a
comparing to player quality. I think Chelsea is ahead of Arsenal. Looking at the Arsenal team, because Arsenal team, you know, you can only appoint Aubameyang, who is excellent top player in the season. Last year he won the the goal king, and then this year he placed second. Even he could even won the league if only he would have scored two more goals. He can be level with Vardy. So looking at the Arsenal team, you can only appoint only Aubameyang. By Arsenal, by Chelsea, look at the team. They have a compact team. They are all in top form this season. Lampard of growing the young. You could say he get young talented boys in Europe that are grown together in Chelsea. Look at the Chelsea team. Everything is compact. The only thing Arsenal need, they need experienced striker like Giroud, who sometimes when Adam and then pulses and then the other guys are not trying to score because of lack of experience, and then they bring Giroud in or Giroud is playing to assist them. That's the only thing Chelsea is lacking. They need experienced striker. That's the only thing lacking. But look at Arsenal. The team is not functioning like Arsenal we know for 3 or 4 years when Arsene Wenger was there. Look at the kind of player Arsenal parade. Look at the invisible team of Arsenal 2004 winning the league without losing any match. Comparing to this Arsenal team, you say no. You can see that the Arsenal level is now low compared to Chelsea. So I think with this game, Chelsea is ahead of Arsenal. When you talk of players comparison, you can only abstain only Aubameyang. And look at the Chelsea back; it's very solid. Look, when Chelsea was playing against Liverpool used their top form that they are good to win Chelsea. But when Chelsea's on the ball, see the way they possess the ball, they go with confidence and everything. So I think comparing Arsenal to Manchester to Chelsea is not something that everyone will say 100% sure Chelsea will lose the game. Regardless, they beat Liverpool and then Man City to come to final. But for me, I tip Chelsea to win the game ahead of Arsenal in terms of quality football.
Okay, me hono na yewi na ya be remu Italy na free coffee. Enti o share so much na say o kwama Chelsea. When
it's come to quality football, Chelsea is ahead of Arsenal.
Okay, enti atiefo no Saviola so kwama Chelsea. Enti sadia ye behwe me de me team bianca hunti no omumbo wi a ye behwe de beko. Ena ye mfa sa match we so Manchester United ene Leicester City na ye mfa Chelsea any Wolverhampton Wanderers na ye hwe match unya kwan hwe bia na
me hwe. I was able to watch those two games, but looking at the Chelsea against Wolverhampton, Chelsea was really nervous want to win this game because first round now I did have something for Chelsea. No, it wasn't fair because they're trying to beat them again too, because Arsenal Chelsea, they want to win this game to secure their place in the Champions League. Lampard not playing Champions League next year is not something good, because with the kind of players he's signing, the kind of young team that he's having, and then it's even win the heart of the media that Chelsea is going to groom the best team like the time Mourinho was there, when he brought Ian Robin, when he had Gould Johnson, Lampard,
Damien Duff,
and those kind of team that, and then McLeod, Mike Essien, and then those kind of team that Mourinho grew for 8 years ago. So Lampard also tried to get the young guys. Even if you're not on that top level like those guys before, but these guys will in 2 to 3 years time they're going to be on top of everyone.
Yeah, because on player be open. Angel Gomez.
Yeah.
Manchester United under 21 as under. Yeah.
And then Timo Werner is coming next year. He's going to upgrade the up front, and then it's going to be good. So it could be a very good.
Already was assigned 21-year-old Hakim Ziyech.
Hakim Ziyech. So there, if he had, let's say, he had a young talented player in Europe that are coming to Chelsea next year, and he's not looking forward to sign Karl Havertz from how do you call Leverkusen. So looking that he want to get players at the age of 19, 20, 24, 25 years. That means Chelsea team next year is going to be interesting, and then the Premier League next year is not going to be something easy for Liverpool or Manchester or Man City. It's going to be a good team will win the league next year in England. And then talking about Manchester against Leicester City, Leicester lost concentration in the middle of the league, started losing some games that they shouldn't lose. Because if you look at the beginning of the league, they were winning every game, trying to pursue Liverpool. And before the first round of the league table, Liverpool was leading them 9.8 points. And people thinking that Leicester could break Liverpool and then go ahead of the league table, like how they surprised in 2007 or 8, winning the league surprisingly. And then people think they could do the same thing again because they do sometimes wonders or make miracles. So they lose concentration and then started dropping points. So I wasn't surprised that Manchester beat them to go for the Champions League slot.
But don't you know United for no matter what was Runtina Ekoyesana?
No. I think Leicester is also strong this year, and then they lost concentration, and then that's the reason why Manchester win them 2-0 to go for the Champions League slot. Because look at the Manchester team after the pandemic or after the restart of the league, Manchester tried to win some matches, try to let's say win more goals, 3-4 or 2-0, and then this boosts their morale. Okay, if we can win this game, we can get to this place, and then if this one lose, we can also go to this place. So they took this opportunity. Sometimes Leicester lose points and they draw, or sometimes Chelsea draw or they lose, and Manchester is still winning. So you look at the last 8 matches, Manchester was doing very good, winning matches, draw some, and then that helped them to get this 3rd place.
Okay. No. Yam say Manchester ne Leicester City di no. Ye di eno akugu. Na when you say na me person me break me dey ana nsem no bi wo no ma o te ya na odi mrika gigi we journalist and as a media man na isa de bia pacho nti no ya na wa hwe de be kwa akosi ansa. Jadon Sancho when so on Manchester almost done, almost wie.
According to source or what I've been hearing, that Sancho, Manchester have interest, but he prefer going to Liverpool. No, I know the story, but the Manchester have interest, and then they are negotiating, and it's almost far. But the player himself wishes he could play for Liverpool, but no one knows in this transfer window because I know the negotiation is still far with Chelsea.
Oh, my negotiation
with Manchester.
Boy, now Kasani United agree personal terms, including his family. And Omone Dortmund for Swasia. Dortmund up £100 million. United so be 64. No ma adi uns. In case Omuji League, Omubo League maybe or 10 goals. We be scared be more. What you say? Hey, Tino, Omugu so more negotiating, but apart from that, in there, I can say almost 90% done. I'm a boy no crown. Uti Manchester for any common way and none from Wako way honum. Carrington training ground on my yeah, because I'm a Manchester boy, not a London boy. So what you say, but through when born the drew baby and move to Manchester, Kobo Manchester City. Academy from Honon or they sa intino when Manchester opa intino as an nika ho enti o de yenhwe na otwe nkwana wie nkosi na otwe besim no na because Liverpool enya de umbete 100 million so me kofa even menya so 70 million krum beto
you know
so atiase enti kwa na boy no obeko but sometimes on say football no ya na strategy coach beat me and team beat me say no addition we are player team we pay say onyanya player we are in somehow no betimi me me team no ntino me so me play smart bo say so o ka so betua 50 million no team ka so betua 70 million no any player na start hwehwe nkomo obetimi na hwehwe nkomo na akosi ba bia afi no onye interested biom sa atam na team ba ko no so no e biom so target no mo so dia akodi ba foforo na afi so atiase na transfer no watra ba bia ate na ena ka have at the end there Rudy Vola o senya ade obemanako oso mpremanenko intino eno so mguso mu di hu nkomo na nka me pese o move but o say o mu team no club president senya ade obemanako intino yehwe intino yehwe no yenwura Italian Serie A nim so kakra ye Serie A no ma yam say Juventus ne lead way no goki no na no lead pa so atiase league table no rather no won anim pa but so far no watena ho ama wa yehwe han say 82-78
for league na gbe so
okay 1 point ulusukura 1 point odi age na me hesa nke beka be 2 we bi ntina yem say o mo relax o mo yi o mo na free gas no so kakra because o hwe team na o share no na Cagliari try no 2-0 o kan e for no relegation for no ntina say e ya man for shock kakra ana o hwe team of the moment Italy team of the moment sisi no me teams mienu but minim ebia de obekwa no Atalanta and AC Milan because we have performance AC Milan fisi COVID by umo put no team say umo sesa na me ankasa.
I think I'll go for Atlanta because looking at Atlanta they surprised everyone last year's qualified for the Champions League and then they are able to proceed to the Champions League now going to Champions League quarterfinals playing against Paris Saint-Germain. That people are now they were not even surprised that they will even could advance against Paris in the Champions League quarterfinals and then even go further to the semis or even to final because they are team that there is no any superstars and then they all have the fighting spirit and then in every game they score at least more than 2 to 3 goals. So that means everyone in the team is capable of scoring. It doesn't depend on that the striker, it doesn't depend on the midfielders. Everyone can score, defenders can score, the striker can score. So it's a team that is all-round team. That when you are playing against them, you have to be very careful. So I think Atlanta is one of the best teams in Europe at the moment, comparing to the big teams in the league like Madrid, Arsenal, or Chelsea, Liverpool, or Juventus. Even Juventus, I could say if they will meet Juventus again, they will score Juventus because in the league table they really give them tough time. But Juventus score only 1 goal to go ahead of them. So I think Atlanta is the best team to watch in this Champions League and then in the league. And then I wish that they will get a good place in the league so next year they can participate in the Champions League again. So you can see a quality football in Europe again.
Yeah, and on say Omusa Koshia we no
Paris
no Mbappe Pranti untimi mobo ni bintina ma ase enkrofo keka say boy idie say dey siko idie without Mbappe no maybe ebiana Paris etimi lose ana bibisa and we so say knockout to knockout stage nya fe na mo bebo abohom bia we be she obi e she wa afrim.
So also Paris team now, the team is not built only on Mbappe. Mbappe is a good player. He helped Paris win many games for Paris, but I think they also have good players. If the absence of Mbappe, there are players who can also deliver in that position. Nilma is there, and then they have how do you call it? This striker, I forget his name, is also there, and then he could also help to win the game. So I think the Paris team is not all that compact team, and then you are afraid of. They say normal team like how do you call it? Like Juventus or is a like Liverpool or something like that. The quality is there, but they don't have this fighting spirit. And then I think with the top form of Atlanta, they can go ahead of Paris. This is what I think. It's not going to be easy task for both teams, but I think with the form of Atlanta, they are the best team to watch, and then I think they'll go ahead of Paris Saint-Germain. Okay,
and also so no yam say yedi akugwe na yensem no bebre say medi kan say yedi bebe fi enti ye beka emfiensem no pa efiensem no House of Folk e o player bi na ye frɛ no oh yes, like Ademola Kuti. Ademola Kuti. And House of Folk almost assign assistant coach. I a friend Hesse or Damte, where a former defender Edema Accra House of Folk. Uti records on say, or a Bema Unimagro deeper. My idea, Tembias who appointed coach and as appoint to know him will be our team no philosophy or take game nasi way na ayana ayenti metuche ama House of Folk so madi say man and so far so no wo hwe omu ayi omu ye ne pobi man na manya ho mfonyin ni ade na kyese omu so mani abra e kwa na nimpa na brante Demolay na waka asem bi afa House of Folk o se uwa chira o hwe House of Folk brand na ase quality pa but oben ho an yema bebre sisa because oba en kra even gym no boarding gym center kra no omuni bi ti ase mimi hu say player o afena o bebo team yes o starting make side demands we can na yen kan Ghana teams no kotokone go for House of Folk yen kan mo asem nkyere na intia na so ana I started running the math no and as officer the brand and can also no or so right say with me a cast answer no publicly.
I think the boy is right because look at modern football, a team is boast of your fertilities, what you have. Like you have your own stadium, your own training ground with green grass, and you have youth teams, and then you have fitness because some of the players, if they are injured, they have to go to fitness to recover their feedback or to regain their strength back and come to the field back. So if you play in House of Folk and you play in the Champions League and they get injury, you have to go to doctor, go to private injury, and then you might not know the use of the machines, and then you get injury again because these machines that you see in the fitness studio, it's not all the machines that injured player have to use because you might use the machines so wrongly and then get injury again, and then your career is ended. So I think this boy is right, and then what the expectation he has before coming to House of Folk, he's not blind because he was thinking the House of Folk they have everything. Yeah. They have fitness studio, they have good pitches, they have nice stadium. Even Accra Sports Stadium belongs to Ghana, but they use it as their home ground. Say it's okay because they pay something for it before they use the stadium. It's okay. But House of Folk doesn't even have their own training ground. They used to go to Legon Ajax Park and then pay money to train, and then they even have problem with some of the first division teams because they also train the same park. They have to wait before Ajax or some of the team training finish before they train. So I think House of Folk, this is what as the boy was saying or this Kotoko was saying, they should stop about the past glory and then concentrate on the current situation and how we can restructure our football system. But House of Folk getting their own fitness studio, getting their own training pitches, getting their own training their academy level like under 19, under 20 or under 15, that will help to boost and build young talent in the team. So I think the boy is not saying something shit, he is saying something should be done. Okay.
Yam say kotokoso de wo na mama fa we frem unim Shafi Mumuni
Shafi from Ashanti Gold.
Yeah. Say a fantastic player na say no Ashanti Gold ni nyine ho bi when a boy na nkasa so ne guest ne man no na kire say omo Ashanti Gold bi ma am say we free agent intino am say why na bi so nko boase bi nti oda hokwa we na on say as gold so ne kotoko age penny so mbebo Africa no na go Fred Yeboa I say kotoko hia sa player no mo de bi fo mo ayi no app so mpeso mo ko animu a na say because kotoko di kan mo ayi say mo to players bi nti no so mbeko for Shafi and I say who he has some big player nechi.
No, Shafi is a local Black Star captain, and then the local Black Star tournament in the Odawafi tournament, he scored many goals. He was one of the best players in the tournament, and even the Ghana League, he was one of the prolific striker, and he's very dangerous when he play against House Kotoko or any other team in Ghana. He's one of the top strikers. So I think if not going back to Go Force, I think Kotoko is the right team for him to go or going to Europe somewhere because Shafi is a very good player, and I think Kotoko need to make their attacking force very good for Africa because if Kotoko is going to Africa, we don't even expect them to go to group stages just because of the quality they have it's not mature to go to Africa and then perform. So I think Sefiu being the local Black Star captain, play international games, I think it's a good player to beef up the Kotoko forward. If only the technical handler is allowed to get new players in the team, as the team owners say, they shouldn't go for any player because he doesn't see the use of bringing player and then they are not flourishing the team. So I think it depends on the technical team to look around and then consider to bring Sefiu to Kotoko because it's really a good player. Even as I'm saying, I even had contact with him directly because his team chairman, champion, was here for last year and they wanted to get him a team here in Germany, but looking at the pandemic and the league was not going, we couldn't able to bring any Asante Go player from Ghana to Europe because of the pandemic and because of the league broke almost 2 years ago, or 2 years ago it was 1 year break and there's no league, and they can't bring a player directly from Africa who is not playing a league to compete in European football. This is not possible. So that was the reason why Sefiu bringing him to Germany was holding up. But I think if he's playing any active football, he could fit some of the League 2 teams in Germany and the first league in Sweden, Denmark, even in Holland. I think.
Okay, I'm say Shafiu Mohammed no so ne ho asem no yam say yo George Abege die no so ha enti no yentwen homra ye na ye mo advert kakra bi na wo ma na de ekonomu de aba enti no ye wia ye beba na ya bibiebi Abege so ensem nim why enti no ye da ye ho kakra bi abetifu
makwa aba samre ye gina Vaden Strasse 38 Hanover Nana Afro shop enimu na ye gina ma ye nko inside ne yenko sha nyama Nana Afro ewo Say Nana Afro shop inside na yeweyo. Ya wantuma odo bebre. Ye wo kente, ye wo meba wa abrochire. Eba no lace so a. Eya na nkofo bebre nim say ye ba no abrochire ha, ye ni lace papa. Ba oba Nana Afro shopper. Ye wo lace bebre, ye wo cheddar. Colors ahodo, de wo pe bia different kinds. Ye wo sweet cheddar. Ye wo German cheddar. Ene ye wo normal cheddar. Nya opesa wo de pambia, sa wo ye oba, sa wo ye bema. De opesa wo de cheddar no eye bia, eno so ubetumi e de aye. Koba no enwi so a. Me wo riga ya ye deda. Ye wo Brazilian hair, ye wo human hair, papa, ye wo Peruvian hair. De obenu awaduane wom, de opesa wo de nyama gum. Ni nyina oba Nana Afro shopper. Ni nyina ubenya bi ato. Nana Afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi.
Yo etiefo yam say yitwa ye ho kakra. Yasan so aba ye ba ya unim Saviola unim kotok me ba mamenchia me president Jeff Fufori, President Jeff Fufori or Sweden your friend Jeza NMD kaka no apese obo academy and ase wo kromu hanum or maybe aso abrochire hanum na say obebo dia ubetumi ahu ye Voice of Pan African Media ye behwe kwa do befa so na ye do ama ye scout no na so wahwehwe wo nsemu ena wo Ghana so na so office o pese obobola eno so betimi afre number ne sa emoa bi e o ana se nkomo bi ese ene odi no ye no obedi na yahwe kwan a ye so ye do befa so enti no sa ene te chama Jesus mechia wo ba bia wo bia wo Sweden wonim kotoko player bi ne afre no George Abege so tini dinda very nice structured player of Uganda obo Karabangi Sharks e o Kenya na omuni kotoko shia no ha omo pa na kotoko ekofa no mude ne ba kotoko na player ne ba no na obe struggle because no ya we say kotoko ne has and ya no instant hit to ba na say more dem man because so hwe omu side one ha ye born ye different to no struggle na wa wonim ye presenters wasa ena ne na atenten ena ohunu hwe onim hwe ye ena we player sam kotono ena we crown wa hwe be ma ye bobo man no mudi na tema instead of say omuhunu sabi nyansa se ye diska na akotonti ye motivate no even so onim bokra ya to no enti ye ya san so man chance ye motivate no e bia na nyame adu motimi ya improve no unim se sa Adama Traore o Wolverhampton Wanderers o hankrofo the most assist player in Premiership. On a year more assist.
More assist is how you call it the Brune followed by how you call it Alexander Arnold and then
yeah. Saboy no. When you say no a Barcelona player.
No, yeah.
Or a Barcelona player and no ya bueno. Even Pulisic watch Chelsea. So no Manchester United one of the closest way and commit me assigning no. so ati ase eno mu hwehwe omo saa eno kodi baabi enene why bright no enti no boy no kɔ na boy no ma gya ne kwan ti boy ne kɔ ye no eno nso so de ahomete ase interview ni ade no unse bi obekɔ no yebusa bokotoko pa wa Ghana eno wantimi ambo Ghana fo mu ni mbo na se ni unse bibisa ena boy ne so ka se omu no wa akira omu hu ne se saa na team ne nte saa team ne sleeping giants obia na obetimi ayi saa na from so mu saa record ma gi Africa omu ye good way blah 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 but saa record no my no past old say time as say o mada o munyane no mu konkon ni bika no because yaji akra na El Ali no ni ade o mu ni ba bi ehu o mu or nowhere to be found but en El Ali agi ama ebu no so Esperance mu ina be say sa ho agibi so muso mo tiwa ye champion na de bia mo ye champion muso so mo nko ba bia mo ntimi kra qualify every you are say group we nim so no ena boy no so de akwati ja say kotoko no mu ne sa ne nte sa kotoko ne nte sa na omu chese omu youth team kranye team de opese stand there say academy no be one wakase omu nya kasatente no omu build omu academy no so ebe mo matimi anya good way standing e dey bibi biara mpese omu ye no omu nya say omu ti player bi anka no omu di na chi na so de afa ho tu omu fo enti wo hwe comments na guy no say nka me kan kire obati time ni nti all mana unu say asa ye odie kakra woni mu wadi because omu di kan player di kan ba na friend Joseph Chaya obebo kotoko omu ye ne saa na player no saa na kotoko ja ne kwan enso no player na ebobo omu ja player ne call TP Mazembe say player no national team so ati ase na chese kotoko na ya omu hunu kwan omu befa so use players no anase players no supporters no na edidede ne ntiatia mu ni we bi ema players no entimi mo
say most of the Ghana teams let me tell you, there is no any team in Ghana that have psychologists in the team. And then sometimes bringing a foreign player into a team or into a local country like Ghana or Nigeria and everywhere, sometimes you need a psychologist in the team to psych the players up against our local supporters, our local fans, because they don't know the culture between House and Kotko. They don't know what is behind. So bringing a player to play against House and Kotko, you don't expect the player to play his best game, because this game is what traditional game, and then the best team always lose in this game, or the best players always do not perform in such a game. So I think what the guy said is excellently right, because Ghana no, you need the psychology, so they will psych the players up, motivate them in every game or even after the game. They will tell them, say, don't mind about what the supporters say. Everything is in your hand. You are the footballer. You are playing the game. You know what you are doing for. You know what you are looking for. So do it this way. And then try to motivate the players, talk something into his mind that will lead him to the next game. But if a player goes to a game, be insulted, being harassed by the supporters, in the next game, he's conscious. Say, if I do mistake, I'm insulted by the fans or the team management, and then with this fear, the player is gradually losing his form, and at the end of the day, the player becomes not a good player for the team. But not that he's not a good player. It's a good player, but at that moment, it's not good quality player for the team. So I think it's a time for most of the teams to or most of the Ghanaian teams to get psychologists, try to get some special people in the team, so they can help the foreign players that they are bringing into the country. And then secondly, looking at Kotko and they don't have patience for the players, because they always expect players to come right away and then start to perform. It's not that the player have to come first and then adopt the system of the Kotko, or adopt the culture of the Kotko play, and then start to flourish. But you cannot buy a player today and expect him to start scoring goal. It's not possible. It's only one player or two players out of 100 players who go to a team and then start to flourish. But most of the players, they need time to get their form into a team to play. So I think if we want to build our team, we have to get national team players, and then also know how to handle with our supporters and our fans, and then so the players, when foreign players can get used to our league.
At year 4, yam see a guso I did mediano, yam see the alliance no guso, person fra bet me a fracture wadrin, or message be aswa a bebano, a bekai amount. Ye bekai at the amount into Jumediana, Gusuna, ye cousin. Set was at Osha, the way our tea cotocudino, our buying. Anna. Even cry up and the almost see where come in on the Adosha team now. If Rahim Finia or your mention what dear, work of Morocco, why that club Athletic of Morocco, also a royal team okwa omu Paris kese players sign no why do be call e be church even the king or private jet yeah chese e back critical na say team na ko ba bi na nya yi a omu team de ko because I think so omu ne kotokokra ball we a omu beje cap no kuma say omu do mu private jet na bombo wi ya no mutu ye no mu ko so nti utim say boy no the one what tip on say obeti kotokon say no akogog oh say ni oh ene ye so nti obae na ase obehu sa no we are sure say pam na ya pam no na ye ne ya ana say we disappointed say obae no ase de ne opeso obehu no wa mehunu nti na bia wode ye odie bi eka sa.
I think the boss was even happy that Kotoko sacked him to go because the expectation that he brought to Kotoko wasn't there. Because you think Kotoko is a royal team, you come, you see a nice stadium, you see a nice training ground, nice academy, or you be having direct contact to the chief or the Asantehene, or in some games Asantehene will come, but the Asantehene doesn't go to games, only ceremonial games that he go to stadium, but doesn't go to games. And I think you looking at the royal teams in Saudi Arabia, in Morocco, or in Tunisia, the chief is always in the stadium. So it motivate the players that okay, today the owner is coming here to the stadium. But Asantehene doesn't have that time. And look at the part of Asante, and Asantehene is the best chief in Ghana, and is the one that people always try to expect more from them. So I think that Asantehene should have try to also invest into football, not giving the team to people who doesn't know much about football, who is so rich but doesn't have football ideas. And then looking at this, how do you call it? KE, the sporting director of Somera, they are so rich, they have money, but they are not what. They don't have broad
according to rumor
they don't have broad knowledge about the football.
Yeah, almost say 4% me a rumor media me unconfirmed say or can in CEO na umo kotokosho no matter say some fooding can but me I don't know how true it is. Just
so they need people who know football, who can come and invest into the football, who have football knowledge, who sleep with football, who read football, can help us help the Kogo team. Bring these rich people to the team. They are coming to make their money and make their name to go, to be proud. Like as Piston who was saying last time, because if you look at the Kotko team, you see that if you're outside, you see different inside. What is inside? If you enter, you run, you never expect that. Like as this player from Gambia is Uganda is saying, because the players are really suffering in this team. So I think it's the time for Kotko to invest old players or to bring players who know about football into a team. And Asantehene has to also wake up and then do something about the club, because if you always be part of your chieftaincy and then not invest in the team, you may end up being the chieftaincy, but the team is lost in their.
I want to make me a defender. No, Kotoko supporters no cross on person Oba Park because Oba Park be aro mulusu.
That one is their local mentality. That is something that.
Omuno eba bechi and up no. Almost some person also say local mentality.
Yeah, because we have to take this mentality, it's psychology. Because as we are saying about medicine in football, because it is what is in your brain that this person is using juju, that's why you are losing the game. But if you take that thing out of the game, and then whether we lose or we don't lose, he's coming there, it motivates the players. One day we win, and then it will be our day, and they will keep winning. But if Asantehene is coming to the stadium, we are losing. I don't support this. I don't take this one as an issue. The only issue I want Asantehene to do is that to restructure Asante Kotoko to make it great like before. Because look at me, I've never seen Kotoko play in Champions League. What I see them is only Europa League, Rafa Cup. That's it. I never see Kotoko play in the Champions League.
Confederation Cup.
The only team in Ghana I've seen them play in the Champions League is Accra Suffolk, who is very poor club in Ghana. But when it comes to football, quality football, they are one of the best teams in Ghana. No, normally.
No, previously no, and you're current.
That's previously, but looking at the early days or early 2000s, as the folk win the Champions League, they win how do you call it, Waffle Cup. But can you tell me when last time the win a Europa African Cup, 1980 something like that? That we were not even born. We don't even know which place was even played by that time. So I think this generation will never see the glory of Asante Kotoko. So we are still expecting to see the glory of Asante Kotoko back at those days again.
Yo, I say, Sana, Saviola, so chere de no, enti no ye be fa sana me de boy ne ka no me ne no adwene because it drew baby ana ensem no bi wo no ma imoya enso so no ye si moya enso emakonim na ye hwe we Jordan Ayew omu papa e friend Sola Ayew aka asem bi say Jordan ye matured say o captain Blasters Enti no umbetimi ya the deputy captain. Oje di se asem ya okai ana se o nyina so bi o de kan sa asem ana se opese omu efie no na de be leaders ba ho an because we di kan born aka na baby say omu no family dey omu ye born to be they were born to be a leaders. So atenti unim say sa no ena omu ka ana say even Raheem Sterling so dey ato so say say yeah rather Raheem Sterling ena ka say say Blaster captain no ye ni nua no as deputy and ne papa no so say ne papa Sola you no ono so say the next George upon we Jordan are you because born no now odi me amfa no kran to chance ma ubetimi de Jordan boy or boy I compare George upon we
saying that with this issue I don't want to talk much about it.
What the Alpha captain and so
yeah. Looking at this, I don't want to talk much about this because they are trying to motivate him, and it is good that they have to motivate him to what to go higher. And then if I see Jordan Ayew winning Gold King in England or being best player in Ghana or in the world, I'll be happy because he's a Ghanaian and he's a black as well. But comparing to George Weah and George Weah and then Jordan Ayew, I think he's yet to what we are
it's not now for free Hanover now come a bit to set Tamale now friend wash us here
we are yet to see that because looking at George Weah, he played a lot of Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan was the best striker in AC Milan, but looking at Jordan Ayew, the teams that he's playing, it is low level compared to George Weah. So I think with this year form we have in Crystal Palace, if he's able to go to one of the middle teams in England, let's say by Tottenham or Chelsea, Arsenal, in those teams, and is able to have a good season, from by that time we can say, okay, he's trying to be a good player in the future.
You want to say, Obeka say be cry by you be good at Asamoah.
No. Even Asamoah, the performance Asamoah put for the English Premier League was so amazing. For the first year, scoring 10 goals and then doing assists. It wasn't that easy for a player in French league coming to England, scoring 10 goals in a season, and it was a perfect for Asamoah. But looking at Jordan Ayew, we are yet to see his best team for him because Swansea never played in Europe, and then Crystal Palace, and then
upon your PSG, or AC Milan, or Monaco, or Manchester City. About Chelsea. Yeah, and we call we Dubai. Emirates on them. And you know, what the other crowd in front of say captains in the family no so air premano. It won't know as individual person I want channel. We say the Umukano, I say you're a deputy, and I say I have a problem beyond Black Stars.
I think if he deserves it, we can give it to him. But I think there are people there who are there before Jordan Ayew, and then those people are also playing very well. So,
but it doesn't matter if the coach Banwaka say when I'm person lead him attacker, or I'm a captain, me lead me team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he deserves it, we can give it to him. But there are also people there who also deserve that position. Thomas Partey is there; he's an excellent player in Atletico Madrid. He can also captain Black Stars as Jordan Ayew, or like Andrew Ayew. And then we have we have Wakasu, who's also doing excellently. Playing very well.
No, Wakasu the Wakasu family no anyhow.
No, we don't say that because it's have a different surname. So we don't
say
no. We have a different surname.
And them found. Say be omu Frebusia back to surname no nyemu ina na mfa.
They are friends.
So it's because of Frebusia no man
No, we don't say that because it's football language, and then we don't say that because we say that he have a different surname and then they also have a different surname. So if Wakasu is also getting it, we don't say it's Andrew Ayew family. We say Wakasu family. So it's not like that. So Wakasu also deserve to captain the Black Star too. Looking even at our goalkeeper, Richard, he's doing very Ofori is also doing work. Also the captain can also be a leader. And I think Jordan Ayew being the Black Star captain wouldn't be surprised because there are some people who are trying to talk to the media, to convince the media for him to get. But I think getting to the Black Star captain doesn't deserve it because Thomas Partey can take.
But so Black Star no so party.
No. He play more, Obojano Thomas Partey, but I don't think he's the right person to lead because he doesn't have the quality.
The entire I'm confused us. I don't know. Almost started a campaign. No, I say informer, the brother. Yeah, then they give to the Ayew. So if they start again, me yeah convince you bet me anya.
If only his brother retire and then maybe from that time he can be
No, you bet me Jeffrey ne brand some dia man. E dey ntini ntimi. Say on in Brazil the home captain. Daniel Alves. Enye name biem. Enti na ntini ntimi. Okay, ni na be ka ho sensem. Ye simaka kra bi ne de adwumadie na ba awie. Enti medical ka se wo apese ofre no, wo betumi afre. Ma memfa we and twaso na ye hwe ye nkɔ yanim so hono enti no ye wia ye behwe se de ensem ne ko one Henry Asantitwum ono na ode ayibia ba abonten on se Wilfred ose kokupama o ye se tamane ye GFA presidential elections no o mu de ne fa kwan bi so yi ni firim ya so atiase na asem ne ye ne yi na ode call International Court of Arbitration. That's a court of arbitration case. And bu asem no. Tumu bu asem no. And omu se omeka we or they say GF no. Na 3-man committee bi. Yam fan nkan but Palmer say there be onye.
Let me tell you about this time I listen. How do you call it? Thomas Palmer sent a player to how do you call it to Genk. The player transferred from Slovenian league is called John Pentel. You know this player is playing for Pentel. He's playing for Genk in Belgium. So anytime you transfer a player, because it was loaned to this team in Slovenia, so then Genk want to buy this player, so they have to buy it from Temayuf to Genk. So the transfer money was about 2 million euros. And if you transfer a player from Ghana to different team, there's some money you have to give it to the GFA, and then Palmer sit on this money.
No, because there was no GFA president at that time.
Listen, I'm coming. If there's no any GFA at that time, we have a GFA account, we have account. So
no.
Listen, the money doesn't belong to me, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the Ghana Football Association, and then the money have to be so. If there's no any president there, they have a place where the money is going. The money doesn't go to someone someone account. So Palmer did not give the money. Wait. Palmer did not give the money to any other body, and then in the future now there's a time for GF election. You want to come yourself for a GF election. They were saying that, okay, this transfer, the money should have come to GFA. We even let you, and they didn't want to give the money. Now you want to come to the GFA president as a person who was even corrupt by not trying to give that money to GFA president. I want to come and be a GFA president. So how possible it is if you are in this city, there will not be any corruption? If that one is really reality, then I support the people at that time who take that bold decision and say no, you shouldn't go for the GFA election, because any player transfer for Ghana, there's some money you have to go for the GFA. Whether it's a president or not a president, there is a bank account for the GFA, and the money have to go inside. You understand what I mean? So we will say Yantachi is not there, the GFA football doesn't go because there was no.
Yes, easy on BBR.
No.
BBR.
They seize everything, but they don't seize money.
No.
If what is about money, nobody says about what is about money.
Okay, Mami Chiro say. So why now the cast na really case na man?
So I don't know how possible I don't know how possible he's able to organize this situation, because look at this one. It's the right thing to do, because you want to be a GFA chairman and then you sold a player from Temayuf to gain 2 million euros, and you have to give 10% to the GFA, and then you sit on this money, and then in the future or now you want to be a GFA president. So what example are you giving for the other team managers in Ghana, like Kotoko has a full go for that? If they say they are player, they shouldn't give that money to the GFA, and the GFA get money through player transfer, through player sponsorship, and then if you transfer a player, he doesn't want to give the money to the GFA. So how do you think about the growing of Ghana football? So I think we did this decision. It was tried that he was not able to stand for the GFA election.
Okay.
Because we get money from the press transfer, and that's the right idea to do.
Okay. Yeah, was Simabe miensa ya de be rap up and I say inum. Mambi when you detract to Henry Santichum, you know, say initially I decided not to run commentaries on the Ghana Football Association GFA announcement of deal to have Macron balls supplied for 3 years because I could not wrap my head around some issues on the sponsorship. Guy, no.
Yeah.
I kept to my position of silence until last Saturday when an executive council member, the GFA, Frederick Echampong, in shedding light on the sponsorship suggested on Inshira FM that they may have communicated wrongly, saying that their deals is with Macron Ghana. We know Osakano. I'm saying at your phobia by a home and a sunti. Yeah, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Pacho, hi, Voice of Pan African Media. Okay.
It's Dr. Jabbar from Hanover.
Okay, Dr. Yetio.
Pacho, would you do so there?
I also, bet me actually wagene.
I did kind of my chairman and Mamma, and you must come more, na my bomber was so. Says Saturday, we are no do that time there. Musumunya Yimuna, I retrieve for no. Mokai na tembia motimashisha sponsors from Kusi Aire. Ama ntitembia do that time si ayana ye need am so pa. Na me pese asem na ye sports no kakra mokan ya me pese me kire ma adwen ye. E fa Brasta ye captains ensem no. Me pese me busa se wadaruma captain Brasta ho no se twusu captain e kwan be so na quality be so no mfa so a omuchusu captain because in prep you know yakwa to say Ghana there se position bi kura ba beto ha inze zo say ehwe ni papa na say qualified person here the man no ne dey kan dey beto social media na ya kan wasem ti se bi enimdie ne nchekemu bi kura mpa nipa bi nim no ye kan kire o mo abeto social media na obi a wona nkyase ne nkyirikire mu no ne ya kan say basa de no dede no na say bi as nipa ne kura ya boni din na ne din da obi a boni din say pama no so won qualify pe ne ya mfa ma ne pe say hey yo Ghana no nipa na ya boni din ya mfa ma ne say but enye san o say ko serious ya o national team bia no e well manage onkwa fa so chusu ne captaincy emfa ho se bia eye Jordan ayu before na na oye dey oye na sisi eye ba ko ne friend say ni nua panyine no ye kan
Andrew ayu
na Andrew ayu na captain asisi pete omo he say Jordan so be dey anka boni bi animu so qualifying kwa there we can give it to him but o see e for the right way. At least was here fight the right way no be adwumu nya ne tanta say o enipa no ya bonidin anaso o me family nti o say e de ma no enye san so aso de me che no e ba ne sa na emwa Ghana football e sa na players no obi enu a na nyi ne yem anana kuma mu say 100% say o de bo team no because ono so ti wa adwen o ti dey captain e ma busuafo kwa ana say enipa no ni nua ayu ni nti on qualify kra ye de ama no ana say me na me qualify because of me no menu bi anka bi ama me nti amfa ama me de akoma ni pa we nti bo say boys no tem bi na kom wo mo nti because over here bi atwa ayu ya asamo jan captain sensem e ma Africa corner for the last ayenku bi no we troka because of captains and Monty. What I say, I didn't think Ghana, ya bobo, ya Ghana bobo, Africa, yeah, one of the best countries are, ya bobo, I chai in boom. But young Kwano, issue Kakrebi or Sank Yakubu, Hokrama, your team, in a lady, on I argument, and I want to problem, not such Yaba from. You see, as I assassination said, you can see I'm building or mine in terms of football. You see, and to me, mom, dear. Say about Jordan D na say mpemfo ko enkrate man na say omudu money to from no qualifier no deserve or say the man no matter how say bia ni ane ayu ana say the same family and as answer na so one qualify almost so much in nche because me say apart from yes now another senior players bia club la so go blast na almost to me pick up tini bia ele entini kwa say amam ko bi mu share to social media just na say ya one qualifying and farmer na no so ka akoda issue na be won say o my Ghana dey bia ye ko tournament bia captain semunti ni e lose ni ababi stupidity excuse me for my language very stupidity oda say enti minu am madam asemede ma no be sia na obi so person obem
yo Dr. Jabano no ono so e de ne de akwa akugu enti sa enetie na mamen klewe na etiefo mutie sports anase ball no enhunu se de captain etie captain emfa wa obotim ne hu 2 million years emfa wa obotim no 10 million years no recently ya mama me fa we nya example kire mu Harry Maguire England obe join Manchester United last season. This season on a captain. Our be two players be brea mu ya kuku dama anka e problems near the be bounce on. And I'm say hoye abluchimem to me use sa word no. Hwe se de o masi aka me matter no kam o maye easy ama bibia ankoye problem. But the day ayu die ayeken se ni nua ni deserve o yesi de ma no but e ho nsem e be solid no. Enye asem ketua. Enti no sa anti captainship emfa de wabotim ache ho emfa de oye pan no na emfa de oye akura ho enti ho no makle amamo enti no mamenko we no so de ne ye kan ye wo yam say less than 5 minutes yes ye pom enwie we no so was it probing journalists established that there is no company as Macron Ghana. Macron Italy has no formal ties with Macron Ghana to here. If I follow it, and I'm starting to follow. Okay, I say the GFA's deal is rather with Colin Gallagher Enterprise. Why the GFA announced that it signed a deal with Macron Ghana, therefore confounded sessions of the media. The explanation has been that Korean Gaga Enterprise runs Macron. Adena omutikofa company. So I say company any woman na assign deal. Edin the dimba two websites sa company no na edin assign deal. Whereby asem na moka munim se enye no Ghana Football Association led by Keto Kreku and then Crawford.
Let me tell you, the Ghana Football Association, all the leaders who have been there for the previous years, everyone have his philosophy before coming there. And then sometimes they are working in the blind side of the people, try to think that they are there so they can do whatever they want. But they should know that GFA belongs to everybody in Ghana, and then we are sitting on the interest of the other people because people have the passion for that job. So if you're in such a position, you have to make what? Try to do neutral job, transparent. Make sure that whatever you are bringing into the board should be what? Should be well defined. So if you are representing to the Ghanaians or the football people in Ghana, the world will accept your what? Your way of working. Because looking at the anti-chair administration, it was one of the best administrations ever we have in Ghana. Justify the fact of Amaanah's situation that there was money issued. There was corruption issued. Let me tell you, all the structure of Ghanaian football, this corruption, even in African football or anywhere, corruption is everywhere. But we shouldn't let that one lead to the main problem.
Don't you think our own is different? And
our own is sickness, and it's like chronic disease. We have to cure it because that's how I'm telling you. Just by the fact of Yantechi failure about this corruption with Anas, he's one of the best GFA would never have in Ghana. So I think Okura should have taken the full step of Yantechi, but not letting such problem to occur, and then trying to reach other things, and then also become a stepping stone to Yantechi, and then be one of the best journalists, one of the football GFA in Ghana. Because if you are going to look for a sponsorship for Ghana, you shouldn't go for such a sponsorship. Because Ghana is too big for this, or Ghana football is too big for this sponsorship. Or if it doesn't have money, then try to console the government to invest money, but not going for mano sponsorship that disgraces our football. Because Sikron or whatever sponsorship is not enough for. It cannot even Macron.
Yeah.
It's not a sponsor. You have to go for what? Go for the big sponsor. Go for the Nike. Go for the Barclays Bank. Go for the Standard Chartered. Go for
the. You have to cut your coat according to your material.
Yeah.
You understand? But the problem is, say, enye Nike, enye Adidas, enye Puma, enye Reebok, enye Lotto, enye Diadora, Crown. Next officer say, contom redesign awa. Let your yes be yes and no be no. I don't think only Miss Adia enye Nike. Maybe a Puma. Now be catch almost say be a Adidas.
That's
na uya ade no so nya se eda ho one day and some officials ni bi dia sports teach amanfo say no o mpese o blackmail Ghana fo mu tumfu trogu nkrofo ani a nkrofo wura mu afen na mo be ka se.
Look, I've been hearing sometimes a live comment or with a crowd with the president. He's saying that they're working on a sponsor for Ghana. But I think if you're working for a sponsor for Ghana, go for the big sponsor. Go don't limit yourself. Go for the high level. Go for the top. If you're going for the low things, you always under the low price. You have to go for high. Go for the big giant and then try to ask for sponsorship. Sponsor doesn't mean that it's small or big. or a small country, Ghana have been to World Cup, we have performed well in the World Cup. Go for the big sponsor. If you go and that doesn't get it, that's not the end of Ghana football. That's not the end of anything. Go for different sponsors. There are different sponsors. There are different companies who can sponsor. It's not all about Nike, Adidas, Puma, and everything. There are many companies who can sponsor. There are banks
also before say Nike and Adidas, but about 8 so move sponsor no. Almost the level of your league, you know. Baby, I would me boko drew baby about could drew scanning here. Just fiti ya.
If you are talking in terms of our league to get a sponsor, that means Ghana will never get a sponsorship before football will come.
Yeah, then we have to create the sponsorship.
So we have to create sponsorship, and then if I do that without getting the sponsorship, the government have to invest into our football. Give what? Give
the end of the day, I'm a say government or intervene your football.
The South African League.
This can anyhow. It didn't say me was some year omu tournament I government or at the budget coach from sky here ni. Emo mine pages can the mom. Kolom become misuse can you ya. Somebody I say I buy any ride say or interview.
Let me tell you.
Do
you know how much a German national player receive as a winning bonus for a year? They receive almost 1 million euros or even more, like sometimes like almost 100 million, almost 1 million euros in a year, because how do you call it? Mercedes-Benz give money, all the sponsors give money for the national team. So in the year, except for the national team, look at the money they get in the national team, and no one is even complaining. Look, we have Asante Gold Ghana, the gold can sponsor the league. We have an oil refining company that can sponsor the league. We have, how do you call it, Coca-Cola company in Ghana can sponsor the league. Look at the South African league. How did this started? The government put good sponsorship, and then the companies in South Africa sponsor DSTV, sponsor the league. Look at how broad South African league is comparing to some of the African league. South African league is one of the best league in Africa.
Yeah.
So why Ghana can't also get the Asante Gold, the gold money? We are part of our gold, we are part of our timber and our Coca-Cola and our oil refinery. What these people are doing with this money?
Okay.
And then we are every day complaining that the crude oil is not being found, is this and this. But why can't these people sponsor the league, try to invest in the league so that they know that the money these people are getting are spent in the league? So our football will be what? Will be okay. Because it's not everybody who will get opportunity to go and work for oil refinery or at the good mine or everywhere. They have to sponsor the people, the players, and know that this money is going for the football, and it's also help everyone in the country.
Yo, etiefo no Saviola no de ne die ni nyina akugu yam so medika aka se sese no de nyame adoma leagues no nyina kwa wie no yam se Ghana sem ne de bebo ho pa de ompe bia no omunye, because we enye obi na tin ani a anka mu betwaye ti yenche hono dwumadie na na de ba wie no wa utumi do message baaye no utumi de baaye beka don snow oso ohwe oso chia Saviola don snow ye je oso ba bibiara o bia no yeso ye je oso enti etiefo yam se yabre na ye be so hono enti yenche ho dwumadie ne duru meme ndase afidie no free ade ba nde high sheshe enti no omre ne so ya de no apagya omu na obi so aba enti no menche ho Saviola yam se ye de dwumadie na ba wie na ye nkomo ni bi wono ma yansi yamre nti twa bi so na wotwe mu de ye be fire fie nko a do say ye twa some leagues bi ni ade Champions League, but ye be fire fie de no fie nsem no be yemmo ye ne nkrofo be didi nkomo bi okura ye program no na say et say de ye kan ka GFA ye obi wo no me betimi afre no asem se ni ate enti ase bia no wo ye finim then obetimi ama tip of kakra na yesoso yakoyenim enti san me enti me kan san na chese Saviola yem say fa wano December wi na wrap up na afi yenko so won chie bia na so wasim bia beka kana yem fa dwumadi ni mra wi
me che kama for mo we sin na say baraka sala no ene etimi di first back kase e wo ye yem sum no so me che obia baraka sala yenko pon ere ma kramosum ne de osuma kamo bia nkopon ma de opa bia no o den ontimi abrabo mo de omo yare dia omo ahoden nkopon ma ahoden bia omo yare nkopon ma mo yare re omo to mo na ye wo kom de pa bia no enye boko ma na atiefo ni bia no mo re ye program no de enye na mo kan che na enye fa beserum de ese ye no mo na mo tuma ma program na ye ma so mi che obia e o tie VOPAM African Media every day bia no and every time bia no Micho
Bia so Joso. You were here for him say you try and ya sign aba Saviola no de ne de no akugu yedamusi ye da tiefo nyina se yam se ha ene ye de dwumadie no ebesie ye nche ho no yam se mechia obi biara a wonya amre ene ye tra ene obi biara a wanya amre ye se de fiensem no be monti ya muntie ne yeso ye be fire amamu yam se Peter Boatin was international sports ye Peter Medasi esien o free Dubai no ye dasi nyame enhira inti next time bia ne ye ka no se ye ne se bibia ntwa yi a den no betimi asend ye message no aka we ankoyi we koyi ye damase ye do bibiara ase yam se menche ho no meche nipa ba ko mienu bi yam se me DJ Willie one o sai me producer one control bibia wa adwuma mu aye ye koyi ankoyi o ehye ono ne nsa Willie ye dasi nyame onhira o ma onim die no enkonkan na ye general manager doctor one ne yere doctor ba bibiara obi a mechia me soft pain Reverend Apostle Kwabrama ko free for ne yere Mama Charlotte mechia obi a na me sa chia Kate Mumake madam for no me yonko pa no ofri Guinea Conakry or France Kate baby a obi a no mechia ewie me do bibiara ase edeba sabri afidi agro awie so ye free ha ne free ha no ye de ho be hye nyame sa obi anhwe no yiye na otwe besim no kwa probeto ye ne sa be de ahiemu a ye be ka se nyame na aye me do obi biara ase me chi obi biara camera ye afi meyere melody ene your birthday melody ene your birthday enra na your birthday intine menya akwanya de a ma mesire nyame ma onye onhira onye okese melody onu aketoa no so anya 1 year enra intine birthday no ye de nyame ase se wahwe so ama wanya 1 year ye de nyame ase ena meyere abawa Naomi ene me bra Frank abawa so nyame onhwe so onye okese me de obi biara ase nyame onye obi akese ewo Yesu dim ye damase baba
kwaba samre ye gina Vadenvader Strasse 38 Hanover Amaanah Afro Shop enimu na ye gina ma yenko inside ne yenko hye nyama Amaanah Afro ewo se Amaanah Afro Shop inside na ye weyo ye wantuma odo bebre ye wo kente ye wo meba wa abrochire eba no lace so a eya na nkofo bebre nim se ye ba no abrochire ha ye ni lace papa ba oba Amaanah Afro Shop a ye wo lace bebre ye wo sheda colors ahodo dia wo pa bia different kinds ye wo sweet sheda ye wo German sheda ene ye wo normal sheda ne wo pesa wo de pam bia sa wo ye oba sa wo ye bema de wo pesa wo de sheda no eye bia eno so obetumi e de aye koba no enwi so a me wo riga ya deda ye wo Brazilian hair ye wo human hair papa ye wo Peruvian hair de obenu awaduane wom de opese odi nyama gum ni nyina oba Amaanah Afro Shop ni nyina obenya bi ato Amaanah Afro accessoire ana Africa aba abrochi medawas mama kwaba samre